Hi guys, I'm back. I've been thinking about examples that I can show you my 5 tools on, and in this case, I picked the first one that you should probably all relate to quite easily. It's pivot tables. So what we'll do is we'll build a very simple pivot table using the data that I've shown you before in Excel, and then we'll jump to KNIME and go through the long way of building exactly the same output as in Excel, but using the 5 fundamental tools. So the idea here is not making it more complicated and more long to build, but to show you how those 5 tools can achieve any task. And then I'll show you a very simple way to do pivot tables in KNIME as well with just one node. Okay, let's jump back into it. Okay, and this is our pivot table in Excel, or let's make a pivot table. This is very familiar small table that we've been using in previous examples. We've got customer ID in column A, then amount of the order, the product that was ordered, and the date of the order. So as you all know, to insert a pivot table, you just select your table and click on Insert Pivot Table. So what we'll do in this example, we'll just go, because we've got date, Excel automatically extracted the month information from it. So we had orders in January, February, April, and May of 2020. So we've got rows being our months. And then what we want to do is to do a pivot by product in columns. And then we say we want just the total amount of orders for each month. So what this pivot table does is effectively lets us see what the total of that product revenue was for every month of product being sold. Obviously, there are gaps, so if there was no orders, that month is not there. Like for example, June is not here, or December previous year, all that. So very simple pivot table. The key thing here that we've got a number of rows and also a number of columns, and that's what we pivot by. So effectively, it's rows and columns, and it's a very stretched kind of table, wide table. Imagine if we had multiple product lines in this data set, so our columns would just go a lot wider than this. Okay, now let's just go back to KNIME and try to replicate it step by step in. Okay, we're back in KNIME. This is just a copy of the same table that I've used before. Effectively, there is a table creator node in KNIME that you can just type any table manually. Like I've done here, I'm just copying it from one project to another. Now, if we run this table, we get the output. That's our table. And now we need to structure it in a very similar way to what we have in Excel. I'll just put Excel here so we can see the structure side by side that we're building. And like everything, it's a table. Um, Pivot table is a table, so therefore it's made up of rows and columns. And so what do we have here? The one piece of information that we're missing is our month, because our rows are month. And extract. Now I'm looking for a particular extract date and time field. That's the node that I was looking for, extract date and time. What it lets you do is to pick a year and a month. Actually, we need a name here. Okay. So if we run this, so we should see 2 additional columns, which is the year and the month. And the reason we also bring a year, because we can't just leave a month. Imagine we've got months coming from different years, so we need to be able to separate them. So we always need to use them separately from year between each year. Now, what we might need to do now is just we bring this column, this tool that allows us to rename some columns, because in this particular case we've got this extra bit at the end added by KNIME, and we don't want that. So if we run this, we just need to see clean. Yes, we've got a year and a month. Now, what we can do now is to create this um, foundation. So we need to have all months that we'll have in our table. And for that, we will use group by. And the first pass at group by will do just a aggregation by months and year. So we have effectively the left-hand side heading of our table, or like what's in our content or what's in our rows. And if we look at it, we've got each month listed separately, which is what we'll have on the left-hand side. Now, the approach from here is very tedious. We effectively trying to get each of those additional columns in our pivot table by just making each column one by one. So what I mean by this is we'll filter out all sales of model 1 and then separately filter out all sales of model 2 and model 3 and so on. And we'll make a summary for each of them where we aggregate all sales of each model by months. And then what we'll do is we'll just join all of them back to our table, the foundation table here. Because we've got all of our months, we then just add columns for each model being sold. And I hope it makes sense. The reason we had to do this aggregation before filtering any individual year is we need to make sure that our foundation contains all possible months that we had the sales in, because if we just filtered model 1, we would only have January and February, as you can see here, because in April and May there wasn't any sales of model 1. So that's why we had to run this group by on all data before we actually start extracting any individual months. Now, in how do we separate each model sales? We effectively using filters. And in this case, I would like to use rule-based row filter. And if we go in, actually I connected it to the wrong thing, because this is just our months here. What we do is to connect it to the total data set, where we can say item equals model 1. And of course, this extra bit that this particular node requires us to do. And if we run it, we can see that we've just got 2 orders for model 1. So what we'll do now is we need to run another group by just to make sure that each row in our dataset becomes a month. So for example, if we had multiple sales in one month, we will have several rows because it's order level here. So we need to get back to month level because that's what our pivot table is structured by. So if we go in and we say the same aggregation criteria by year and month, and all we're doing here is just summing up order total. Pick sum here, click OK, and I'm not gonna pick different column naming options because we'll just rename them all together at once. So if we can see here, we've got total sum, although it's exactly the same number of rows in orders because there was only one order in each month, but here we definitely know that this will only have individual months because sometimes there will be cases with multiple orders in 1 month, and therefore we had to run this group by before we use this data. Now, and let's just do our first join. So what we'll do is we connect to our foundation table, which only contains the months rather, and then we would like to use left out join because we want to keep all months available in our foundation table and then only matching rows from the second table. So any months that did not have model 1 sales will be written with nulls. And then we'll be using year to year and month to month. As far as column selections here, we don't change anything because we've got this option ticked to remove joining columns from bottom right table. So there shouldn't be 2 sets of year and 2 sets of month column. And if we run it, we can see that we still have all of our months, but now we have the actual total revenue for model 1 for both February and January. And later we'll rename this to model 1 because at the moment you can't even tell if it was model 1 or not. Now what we'll do from here is we'll just copy those things down, where in each case we extract remaining models, model 2, 3, and 4. Paste. So that was 1, 2, 3, and another one. Paste. So we'll go in here, we'll say model 2, then model 3, and then here model 4. So, and then what we can do in this is we can also copy the join because it's already configured how we want. Paste. And what's important is we continue building from the left. That was our foundation table. Then we brought model 1, so we keep linking to the joins on the left hand side or the top connector of the join of the combined tables, and we'll be adding each one of those to the bottom connector of the join. Then we'll paste another one, connect them the same way. So that will bring model 3, and then we'll paste another one. And you can all see how much more convoluted this is as opposed to what we did in Excel with a couple of mouse clicks. But again, the idea here is just a demonstration how it all hangs together, so you can actually make some most complex reports in a kind of step-by-step approach. Now, if we, let's run this, execute, join table. Okay, so now we can see that we've added each model sales by month aggregated as separate columns, but of course, none of them make sense. So we remember our order of columns because we built it here, but now we just need to rename it. So we've got column rename here. We'll just drag it out and move. And we just need to rename this to model 1 and so on. Model 2. Model 3. Model 4. And of course, it's capital, but shouldn't be. Click OK, click Run, and then look at the results, and bang, we've got it. So we've effectively been able to replicate what we've done in Excel. So if we just compare them side by side, of course, the order of the months here is not exactly the same, but you can see in May, there was only model 4 for $6,000. In April, we've also only had model 3 for 6,000, and then in February, we had 210 of model 1 and 400 of model 2. And as you can see, they are identical. There you go. This is how we did pivot table in KNIME, the long way. And the idea here was to show you how we use filters, aggregators, and joins, which is probably most important three of the five fundamental data analytic tools. Now, let's see what KNIME can offer us in terms of doing pivot straight away. So if we type pivot, we've got this pivoting option. If we connect it to this point, because we still, I don't think KNIME would allow us to create months from the date, so we had to connect it to where the months are becoming available. So what we do here is this is what the first groups is effectively is what our rows are, and as you remember, we've got year and months. The pivots is effectively what columns will have, and we've got the item or the product type. And in manual aggregation, the third tab, we've got order total that we need to sum up. And when we run this and look at the first output, you see we get what we have been building via such a long way straight away. So, and we get, well, the column headings are not exactly as we want, but they're quite explanatory and they maintain the information which particular product type it relates to. So technically we could just keep everything as is. So there you go. Now in KNIME you can do pivot in one step. However, I hope this long way of building the same output gives you appreciation of and practical examples how to use fundamental building blocks of data analytics, which is my 5 tools. Hopefully you enjoyed this session, and I will be trying to get some more examples for you in the next videos. Thank you.